Okay, it's been a while since I've done a demo video for VoxyAI, so I'm going to do a couple of them this week. Um, I think later this week I'm going to do a large video demo of the screen context awareness feature, which is a really large feature, which could take some time showing off how that works. Today will be a short demo that's going to show this organized directory feature. And I think next week I'll do a series of demo videos on how you can deploy and configure VoxyAI using an MDM solution. So for today, what I'll do is I want to show very quickly a couple of things. One, we have this really nice clipboard history. And now every time you copy something to your Mac clipboard, it's automatically saved here where you can search it. You can delete individual items or pin them or copy them. This I think is really useful because there have been many times when I've copied something days ago and I wish that I still had it. Well, now you can still get your complete clipboard history. And I've also added this really nice usage dashboard that shows when you use local models how much money you save. Now, on my development machine, I actually reset this to test different things. So for me, it's actually, I've actually saved a lot more than 11 cents. Yeah, so your usage will vary, of course. But it also shows some recommendations. So for example, in this, this time that I opened it, it's saying that I use a slow local model. So it will recommend, if you're using models that you're doing a lot of coding and you're using a model that's not necessarily good for coding, it will tell you that. It'll make some recommendations based on how you're using the LLM. Okay, so I'll probably do a video about that later with some more detail. Besides that, I think I'll go right into my demo here. So what I have is this folder called Caboose. And Caboose is an app that I wrote that's available in the Mac App Store. What it does is it lets you use an Android tablet as a second monitor with your Mac. So it's kind of like Apple Sidecar for iPad, but this is for Android tablets. And what I do, because I'm super busy and short on time and sometimes a little lazy, is I just throw things into a folder, willy nilly, with no structure or organization. And you can see here, I've done that. I have some images here, but I do have an images folder. So you could argue this actually should be here. I have a screenshots folder. Notice these are like the default screenshot names. And it doesn't really tell you what these screenshots are of. And I have some random text files throughout this folder as well. So we can use VoxyAI to clean this up. So let's actually grab the Caboose folder. It's doing an analysis, and then it's going to tell us what it thinks we could do here to make it better, okay? So it wants to move this appicons.zip into an archives folder. It wants to move this image into an actual images folder. That sounds good. It knows that this is a screenshot, so it's going to move into the screenshots folder. It's going to move this Android key store.txt into a credentials folder. That actually is really good. And likewise, language support into localization. I agree with that. Now, for screenshots, what it's doing is it's actually taking a look at the actual screenshot and deciding a better name, giving it some context. So it's decided this one screenshot should be called Mac OS Display Settings, which I think is correct. This other one, Mac Display Settings. They're kind of both, the pictures of this kind of the same things. It actually makes sense. And then it's also decided this caboose icon.ping is actually a duplicate. So this file appears twice. So it's going to move one of them into the trash, okay? So we'll go ahead and apply the changes. It moved 7 files, renamed 2, and moved 1 to the trash. And now we have a nice, clean, organized folder where things are like easy to find, where they should be, and the screenshots are renamed with things that make more sense. Okay, so that's a demo of the organized directory feature. Later this week, I will do a demo on screen context awareness. And then next week, I'm going to do a whole bunch of demos on MDM deployment. which will have a lot of detail about how you configure Voxy AI in an enterprise environment. So you can set privacy requirements, which LLMs you can use or cannot use. Also, like how to configure logging, so you can actually, do some like compliance auditing on how Voxy AI is using LLMs. Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day.